Hey gang, welcome back to the channel. Today is tile day. We're going to be putting the floor tile down in the kitchen and starting into the dining room. I'm actually sitting on it. I picked this up yesterday. Very heavy, 25 boxes, probably over 50 pounds a box.
I'd say.
So let's walk over here. I brought my dolly just to help us move tile. Got our wet saw set up. I had some Schluter all set left over from a previous project, so we're going to use that. And I've got my pro knees on. These are custom made knee pads. They're almost like like the gear that catchers wear in baseball. A
little bit.
Just like that. You're fully supported. So we have some areas where it's going to slow us down. We can't just fly. So I'm only going to mix up half a bag. We've got 3 quarts of water here. So we have everything we need. So let's start laying some tile.
All right, thin set.
Trying to clean my clothes first.
Yeah, looks good.
Yeah, it does. You'll never be able to tell what was original, what was new.
No, I don't even think if I held the camera right here, you could tell where we were. But that's the point, right?
Yep.
We stopped because we ran out of thin set, huh?
We did.
We got to go get some more?
Yep. And so tomorrow we'll keep going, and we'll go around there and tie into the living room and finish that over there.
Yeah, just keep chipping away at it.
Yep. So we'll see you tomorrow. Hey guys, it's the next day. We're going to keep tiling. We ran out of our Schluter thin set, so we switched to this product. Much easier to get here locally. And when you walk down that aisle at the home center, there's 6, 7, 8 kinds of thin set, right? So I found this flow chart that helps you to determine which thin set to get. And I'm going to give the guy credit. I got it from DIYtileguy.com.
Okay.
So here's what I did. First question is, what are you installing? Backer board, membrane, or tile? So we're tile. Are you installing over Ditra or Curdy, both Schluter products? No, we're going right on a slab, so no. Is one dimension of the tile 15 inches or larger? Yes. So we go here to this one, and these are the appropriate thin sets to use for our product.
Right. And
so we're using CPB, which is Custom Building Products, Custom Ultraflex Large Format Tile. LFT is large format tile.
And you can find that on DIYtileguy.com?
Yep.
Cool. And you just follow the chart and you'll know exactly what to get.
Yep, and it doesn't cover everything. Like glass tile, you know, you want a white thin set that's appropriate for glass, but this is 90% of the stuff we run into.
Sure.
And what we do, we're going to cut this bag in half, and we only mix half at a time because I'm pretty slow. And we have a lot of cuts to make, so it slows you down.
That's true. But let's get it mixed up and get cracking.
Get cracking. That's harder than moving a piano.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Hey guys, we're outside. The tile is done. We want to show it to you, but before we go inside, I wanted to show you a couple things outside. So this is the grout we used. And this is pretty interesting for us. It says on the instructions, it says, in no case is a sponge recommended for grouting.
Crazy.
Yeah, I have never heard that before, read that before, seen that before.
What does it say to use?
Well, it says to use a doodle bug. So I think the problem, I think why they recommend not to use a sponge is that most people, when they use a sponge, it's too wet and you get what's called overwatering of the grout. You're saturating the grout on top with the wet sponge. It needs to be super dry, and that's what we did.
Yep.
So anyway, we did use a sponge, came out great, and you'll see it. And another little tip, this is not what you think it is. So I saved a handful of grout and just threw it on the bag. And just in case when you're sponging it, you see you missed a spot, you have some that's ready to go. So let's go inside and show you how it came out.
Yes, sir.
So this is all new. All the way to the living room.
Yep. This is where we stopped, and it's actually ripped a little thinner than the rest, but you can't really tell. The grout makes it disappear.
Yep. We did all this, of course. And in this room, we did half one day, moved everything over the next day, and did the other half. We also had that piano.
Right.
That was in here.
So from the first clip that they saw us laying floor to just the last clip of us grouting, that was a week.
Yep.
A week's worth of work.
Yep. There was a weekend in there. We also moved the piano.
Right.
Had furniture delivered, road construction, all kind of stuff going on. But it's done. And we also had in here, we had 3 patches, right?
We did have 3 patches.
This is the original. I can't tell anymore.
Yeah.
We blended it in here, and that's all new. We have a patch under the refrigerator, a patch here, and a patch here, and we weaved it into the existing floor.
Is that tile under the dishwasher?
It is. So that's, I don't know why people don't put flooring under dishwashers. We put it under the range and under the refrigerator, but they leave it out under dishwasher.
Who knows?
So we had 25 boxes of tile. We had 7 left. 7 tiles.
Right.
Not 7 boxes. So we cut it pretty close. And then we did use cheesecloth at the end to get the haze off. It worked great. I'd never done that before, but that was a nice way to get a lot of that haze off.
Absolutely.
We'll come in here tomorrow and give it one final polish. But right now, we're going to hang this chandelier over the dining room table.
Yeah, let's do something easy.
Yeah. So it's kind of interesting. This is the canopy, and it comes with a tether. Now, I've never seen a tether on a residential fixture. So this will get fastened to the framing, and in case it ever falls, it'll catch it. I've done these on ceiling fans in commercial buildings, especially out west in the seismic areas. But we're gonna use a fan-rated box. Even though it's a chandelier, I always put fan-rated boxes in bedrooms, dining rooms, etc. In case anybody ever puts a fan, it's ready to go. And then we're going to attach this to the joist. Our wiring for the light will come in here. I'm going to take this knockout out, and we're going to pass our tether through there and attach it to this side of the joist, because we don't have a lot of room in here. So let's move this table, cover it, drill that hole, and I get to go in the attic again. Woohoo!
All right, guys, so we have our junction box perfectly centered with the hole drilled on our joist, and this is a good little tip we wanted to show you. So the box will actually come with this screw right here. The purpose of this is to go right in the middle, and that actually secures the box to the joist, and it holds it in place while you're roughing in your electrical. But when you use a hole saw like we did, the hole saw has a pilot bit on it. The pilot bit is actually larger than the screw that the box gives you. So this will not dig into the joist and it will not hold it. So we're just gonna use a leftover GRK screw. What are these, like 2.5, 3 inches?
Yeah.
And all you need is a longer screw. See, now I'm bottoming out.
Yeah. Perfect.
And now it's held in place. So all you need is a longer screw. So you might run into that problem if you do use a hole saw. Don't worry about it, just get a longer screw and secure that puppy in there.
Yep. Now, is that screw holding up the weight of the fan or the light?
No, that's a good point. This screw is not structural. It's not supposed to hold the fixture. It's not supposed to support anything. It's just purely to hold the box in place while you're doing it, the electrical. These bolts that you actually see come inside of the box. They're strapped to it just like that. These are the ones that are holding the fixture. They go in there like that, but we'll show you guys that later.
All right,
but
I'm gonna hop up there and we'll run the wire real quick. We have the strap that came with the fixture attached to the joist with the 2 screws supplied with the fan rated box. Then this nipple is gonna support the canopy. And then we realized that this tether, even though it's a safety tether, you gotta have it because this light has to hang here from the tether in order to wire this up. So that's our next step. And we also temporarily installed it, or temporarily hung it from here and got the right height for our chains. So my next step is simply to weave this wire through the chains. I'm gonna give myself plenty of extra wire. And then we weave it through. You can go every other chain. I'm just gonna go every chain, every length. And that's probably enough. Now we go through here. All right.
sleek.
And let's wire it up.
Cool.
All right, we have our ground wire hooked to the ground screw on the strap. Then it's hooked to the ground wire from the fixture. Now we're ready to hook up our hot and our neutral. But on the zip cord, how do you know which one is hot and which one is neutral, and does it even matter? Yes, it matters. It's really important. On the side of this neutral, on the side of the one that is the neutral, in the insulation, there is a rib in it, a couple of ribs. The hot one is smooth on the side, but the neutral has a couple of ribs.
You can feel them?
I can feel them. I can't see them. Sometimes this comes gold and silver. It's easier to tell. But I know that's the neutral. And I put black tape on the hot side. And then I left extra wire. In case we want to lower this, we can lower it easily. So let's hook it up. Now we had a little problem we took care of. So this is the canopy. It goes flush to the ceiling, and this nut holds it tight to the ceiling right here. The nipple that came with the fixture was too long. The top of the nipple bottomed out on our box, and the canopy wouldn't get flush with the ceiling. Does it make sense? Now I can't cut these without damaging the threads, and I didn't have a shorter one. So what we did, we drilled a clearance hole. We took out the long GRK screw that we showed you at the beginning. We took it out and we drilled a clearance hole. Now show them, Jordan. See how that goes right in there?
Yep.
So now we're ready to finish the installation. So
now we can screw it.
Yep.
And have enough clearance for this guy as well.
Exactly. So why don't you put that...
Put the GRK screw back in?
Nope. We can't have it because we need room for this. So put the other hex head screw in the strap.
Okay.
Yeah. All that screw did in the middle was hold it during the rough, and we're past that.
All right.
All right, gang, we have the light fixture secured to the ceiling. It is straight this way, centered over the table. So let's put the last light bulb in. We'll check for sparks. All right.
Sounds good.
Let's try it.
You ready?
Yep, Vic's got it. Awesome.
Woo!
Very nice. Can you catch the detail on the ceiling?
Yeah, it looks like a phoenix is being reborn.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yep. So that's going to wrap up this video.
Mm-hmm.
We hope you enjoyed it. We hope you learned a few tips and tricks. Be sure to give us a thumbs up, hit that notification bell, and subscribe if you haven't already. We'll see you on the next one.
Yes, sir.